Find the exponential function that contains the points 1, negative 30 and 2, negative 90. Okay, so now we want to find the exponential function, right? So the basic form of an exponential function is this guy, right? Y equals a times b to the x power. Okay, so remember, x and y are just the variables, right? The variables that we plug in. Well, your job is to find b and a, right? B is the base of the exponential function, and a is just a coefficient, right? A is just some number that we're going to be multiplying by at the very end. Okay? So here you notice we have 2 points, right? Remember, these ordered pairs are actually very important. They represent the corresponding x and y values, right? So the first thing we should do is plug these values in, right? So when y is negative 30, x is 1. So negative 30 equals a times b to the first power, right? If it's the first power, we don't really need to write it down. And then negative 90 equals a times b to the second power. Okay. So now you notice we have 2 equations and 2 variables. That's always good, right? If the number of equations equals the number of variables, then we should be able to solve for one of these guys. Okay. Now it doesn't really matter, I guess, what we do. But you notice there's a couple things we can do here, right? But we notice that a times b is equal to negative 30, right? A times b. Here you notice in the other equation, we have negative 90 equals a times b times another b, right? B squared is b times b. So what I'm going to do in this case, and this doesn't happen all the time, right? But a times b, we actually know what that is, right? A times b is equal to negative 30. So I'm just going to replace that. So negative 90 equals negative 30 times b. And now I can just divide both sides by negative 30. So I know that b is equal to 3, right? There we go. I've solved for b. Now what's left? Well, we got to find the value of a, right? So I can just go right back ahead and plug the value of b in here because we know what b is, right? Now we can actually plug it into both equations, doesn't really matter, but negative 30 equals a times 3, right? So actually, well, wait a minute, if I divide both sides by 3, I get my value of a, which is negative 10. And you notice that if you plugged in the value of 3 into the other equation, right, we get 3 squared, which is 9, divide both sides by 9, a is negative 10 again, of course, right? We should get the same value of a either way. So think about that. We've used the points to plug it into the general form of the equation, and then we use a little bit of algebra to find the values of a and b. Okay, so now let's just rewrite this guy, right? So what is the exponential function that these 2 points are based on? It's y equals negative 10 times 3 to the x power. And this is the exponential function that contains these 2 points. Of course, a good thing is we can actually plug in any value of x that we want, right? So what we've done is we've generated or built the exponential function based on 2 known values.